All I ever want to do is provide more art for more people to have more conversations. People sometimes don't know that they want to engage with culture. We live in a time where there are lots of different cultures in Carlisle, not always by choice. We wanted to use our position to shine a positive aspect on that situation.
I'm going to say hello in my language, and I invite you to say hello to me back in your language. So, bonjour. Buenos días. ¿Cómo estamos? Sí. Hello. Привет. I know that now. Привет.
Hola.
Hola. Xin chào. Salam nous. Salam nous.
Hello.
Hello. Cool. So, my name is Matt. It's Mathieu in French, but everyone calls me Mathieu. So I am a street artist. So it means I actually paint on walls in the public space. So it's public art, it's free for everyone, which is amazing.
The timeline of the project was to have the workshops, get the participants involved, pull out their cultural patterns, allow Atma to reinterpret and use those patterns within his design, and then complete the wall. Working with Tullie on something like this has been a goal for a long time. We have done projects in the past with them, and they've always been really up for the conversation about painting an external wall. But with it being such an important building for Carlisle and such an old building, we really had to think carefully about how we were going to do that so it landed right.
Okay, first of all, these are walls, that Ben has produced in Carlisle. Have you seen some of them? Yeah? Amazing. I do a mix of portraiture and patterns. I'm going to show you a little video now that will show you maybe 10 of my work, so you have a better idea of what I do. I would like you, all of you, to take one paper and start to create your name. That could be done in your alphabet, in your language, in a creative way that says something about you.
Atma's experience of working with different minority groups really meant when we came to the workshops, language wasn't a barrier. He's very used to bringing the best out of people and very skilled at it when it comes to having language barriers, but still being able to get across a point. Whether they're an artist or not, whether they've ever picked up a pen or not, or whether they speak any English. It was really important that this temple of cultures was built from their work. people who came to the workshops are on a journey in so many ways, more ways than we can ever imagine. Whether they're here now or whether they've already left the city, it was important that while they were there, we gave them an opportunity to leave their mark on this city's history.
اسم من علی حمیدی هست و میخوام بگم که صدای من اهمیت داره.
There's so many ways of making small artworks big, and one of the greatest privileges of being in Blank Wall Assassins is I get to see that process right from start to finish. The end result is always really special, but for me, the process is equally, if not sometimes more, interesting. The weather doesn't always play ball, but the wall still needs painted. There's always challenges to overcome on a project of this scale. Things always go wrong. That's an inevitable part of doing what we do. Painting large scale externally is tough.
Yeah, 7. And this is 9 meters by 8. So it's huge. And also this wall, people can see it from here, from very far. So I think it's very interesting. And what I would like to do now, if we stay together, we can look at 2 walls which have been painted before. Yeah? Just around the corner. Is that okay?
During the workshops, we took them to see some other pieces by Smug and Timon Delat, and that was when I think the penny really dropped about what they were part of.
This guy is Belatucadros, is his name, and the Roman soldiers used to.
Yeah.
Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? So the guy painted this to remind everyone that the Romans never got any further than here. They a few miles and then that was it. They said, we can't do it anymore. Painting on this building it's big and it's long, but it's round. You can't even see. If you stand here, you can't see the rest of the wall. So he has to think, okay.
Timon Delat and myself have spoke about this a lot, and he has a brilliant phrase of unknown is unloved. If we can bring cultures together, however small that interaction is, knowledge then will be shared between different groups.
Ben, would you like to...
So this is, yes, it's painted by a Dutch artist, Timon Delat. He always paints the colors on the faces because he works from photographs, and when he's traveling in the countries, he senses the color of the country. So he looks at the flowers and the buildings and the clothes. So when he was in Laos, these colors represented their culture to him. And also with playing with the color of the face, it distorts, it changes where this person is from. So it makes you look again and look at it a bit closer.
It's all very well to show someone a picture and say, this is in the city. Some of them had seen some of the pieces of work, but when they were stood in front of a wall of that scale, of that magnitude, they really started to see where we were going to take this project. Atma uses a grid method. Once the wall is blanked out, he physically puts a grid on the wall. That grid is then displayed on his mock-ups and his sketches, and then he can work up the same scale and then start painting. Atma's use of colour, geometric design, graphic design and cultural patterns really all comes together so well in this piece, and it is a total explosion of colour, culture and celebration of everyone involved. The next stage to that was when they came and saw Atma's sketch up on the wall. It was just amazing to see the realisation that the things that they had created only a few days ago were now directly fed into this project, supersized. The workshop participants come and physically paint on the final piece was vital to this project. We didn't want it to be, we tick this box and now we could do this. The whole project had to really be sincere in about that drive to get them involved. Tullie is known as Carlisle's home of culture. This project was about documenting part of the cultural changes that are happening now. What we could bring through the wall that Tullie offered and the project that we could deliver really had a lot of cultural significance, a lot of weight and importance behind it, and that was the piece we needed for this particular setting.
It's a huge project that, it looks like I paint for a few days, but we started to work months ago. Ben had this idea to paint on the museum, which is obviously of huge importance. Painting a museum is a big responsibility, which I'm totally honored to do. It's also a grade listed building, so you don't get to paint grade listed building just like this. You have to secure a lot of authorization, which they did. And then working with Lindsay and all the workshop participants was so fantastic. It really felt like everyone was playing their part. Everyone was, with their own voice has contributed to this cocktail. For me, I'm humbled to be given the role of conductor and executor of this piece.
My name's Lindsay and I'm one of the community engagement producers for Tullie House. My job is to make sure that everybody is included and reflected within the museum spaces. A lot of my job includes working with organisations whose purpose it is to support people who are seeking asylum, and a lot of my job also includes working with people who have a barrier to accessing the museum, whether that's the museum galleries or the activities that sort of surround and animate the museum. Blank Wall contacted me quite a few months ago asking me if I could contact people who are seeking asylum living in Carlisle, knowing that I had quite a lot of contacts and I'd built this relationship with a group of people through the Secret Garden project. I was so excited when they approached me and asked me about being involved. Just to know that we would have this chance to create something that was so huge, that would be seen by so many people and was sort of this really sort of bold, meaningful statement.
سلام، من مینام. حدوداً 6 ماهه که تو کارلایلم. از ایران اومدم. روز به پیشنهاد یکی از دوستای آفریقاییم تو رنگ‌آمیزی شرکت کردم. خیلی لذت بخش بود. با رنگ زرد کار کردم که رنگ مورد علاقمه. اون لحظه حس خوبی داشتم و دقیقا یه قسمتی رو رنگ کردیم که مربوط به طراحی معماری اصیل ایرانیه و همین که با دوستای دیگمون که از ملیت‌های مختلف بودن کار می‌کردیم لذت رو چندین برابر می‌کرد. تجربه خیلی خوبی بود. چقدر خوبه که این حس به همه فکر میکنم منتقل میشه که همه میتونن مسالمت آمیز کنار هم باشن، با همفکری خیلی از کارا رو درست بکنن، هماهنگ باشن تو انجام هر کاری، جدای از قومیت، جدای از ملیت، جدای از تفکرات مختلف، سلایق مختلف و هر چیز دیگه.
Culture means so many different things to different people. The blending of those cultures, especially through a vehicle like art, can lead to a really rich experience for everyone involved.
I think the world is changing. The world is changing really fast. And sometimes in Cumbria, it can feel like we don't change very quickly, but we do change, and Carlisle is changing. The amazing cultures and people that are now living in the city where maybe 10 years ago they weren't there before. And I think it's important for the next generation as well, for children and young people to see that there is a world beyond Carlisle and Cumbria, and that this piece gives you a kind of exciting snapshot into what that world might look like, that it's bright and it's colourful and it's exciting and it's somewhere you want to be.
Mazia created this absolutely astonishing, beautiful calligraphy. So it's Persian letters, not specific words, just letters. But obviously, if you look at it from a visual point of view, it's absolutely stunning, just the shapes. And I thought that could be the beginning of the hair of the main character, which I use. And the main character has a message. And the message is written here is in Eritrean. And it means my voice matters.
اسم من علیه، ولی همه منو به مهزیار میشناسن و من داخل 2 تا از ورکشاپ های متر شرکت کردم. خیلی جالب بود واسم تجربه نقاشی و رنگ‌آمیزی و طرح‌هایی که از من گرفت. 2 تا طرح من دادم از ایران، از کشورم. یکیش طرح الفبای ما بود و یک طرح تقریبا نستعلیق طور بود و یکی دیگه هم از یکی از مسجدهای مهم شیراز، یکی از شهرهای بزرگ ایران گرفته بودم. حرفه‌ای بودن و جزئی از این بخش نقاشی قشنگ دیوار موزه بودن خیلی جالب بود واسه من و خیلی خوشحالم از اینکه تونستم یه بخشی ازش باشم.
I moved to Carlisle on March 2019, so I've been here nearly more than 4 years now. When I moved here, I was by myself, I was really lonely, and as a sociable person, it was really, really difficult for me to not knowing anybody. As soon as I arrived, I started to meet new people. They were really lovely and welcoming, and after 4 years I made loads of friends, and I feel that Carlisle is my city now. I have my own support networks and friends, and I am so happy.
من رها حیدری هستم. 6 ماه اومدم کارلایل. تقریبا ایرانی هستم. و این حس به من خیلی خوبه. به خاطر این خیلی دوست داشتم شرکت کنم. وقتی شرکت کردم اولش یکم استرس داشتم. فکر می‌کردم طرحهای خوبی در نمیاد. اما خیلی دوستش داشتم. به خاطر اینکه حس خوبیه کنار چند تا ملیت داری طراحی می‌کنی و طرحت پیاده میشه روی دیوار قشنگ.
When we started, some of us, we thought maybe we don't have any idea of what we are about to do. I myself, I thought like I cannot even paint, I cannot draw. But it was all about doing it together and be creative. Even if we thought we couldn't, this helped us to figure out that we can make it as a group. After this finished, and we see the wall, we are like, oh, I had a part in that wall, and some part of me, it will always stay here. Even if I'm not here, I move, I will always be here in this wall and in this like place.
I think the role of street art is definitely to open dialogue and to open conversations, to create conversations, to encourage and enhance curiosity and build up new bridges.
I would love to see more of this in the city. You know, it's already put Carlisle on the map, and I think there's much more we can do. We have some amazing spaces and buildings in Carlisle, but we're also really compact. So the trail that Blank Wall Assassins have started is something that could really grow as the city evolves, and I think it's a incredibly positive thing and really bringing to life a bit of the city that needed that colour.
If I look back to where we started with Tabby and myself just painting one wall because we thought it would be a fun idea, with no real agenda, to what Blank Wall Assassins has become today, I can really feel proud of what we've managed to bring to the city. public art is really embedded within the city now, and it's something I'm really proud of. But we're never done. There's always more walls, there's always more artists, and there's always more messages to be put out into the public. We now have the backing of Cumberland Council, Shared Prosperity Fund, people like Tullie, and this really does make a difference to what we can achieve. All I ever want to do is provide more art for more people to have more conversations about.